incredible parallel between, you know, some of the experiences that you've had and the experiences that you just told me that your dad had.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty incredible. Do you know what I mean? What do you think about that? What do you think about this shadowing or paralleling or whatever it is with your dad?
I don't know. What? I don't know how I really feel about it. I know things I've heard about people talking about genetics or, you know, or nature versus nurture and things like that. I don't know what to think about it as far as like, would I have made the same choices whether or not he had done these things too, or you know, I probably. I mean, if I was the same person, I don't know. He didn't have a lot of say on the person I was. I didn't know him really very well. Just knew kind of about like things he did, you know.
Did you grow up fearing becoming him?
Yes, for sure. Totally feared becoming my dad in ways, you know, like I was almost like that. It was such my most rebellious nature was against like being a drug addict, cheating on my spouse, being a good for nothing, run around, you know, this and that, carefree party animal, such and such. So kind of the way I saw him, it disgusted me in a way. But I think it disgusted me because he wasn't there. I probably longed for his love. If he was there and supported me and we were buddy from the time I was a kid, then I probably would have emulated it and loved it, you know, and thought that it was all right. Instead, I went around the back door and thought, and I'm never going to turn out like that, and then realized step by step that, oh, he's a human being too, you know. Mm-hmm. Nothing you can do about that. So, hey, Ma.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Excellent. Alright. Let's see. Oh. So Justin was telling me, and then or not Justin. Ryan Suter.
Ryan Suter.
Yeah, was telling me that you guys are in a band called Ica Panthers.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Well, not too much. Well, that's something we did after Cart broke up. That Ryan played guitar, Jeff Smith played guitar, Craig from Fits of Depression played drums. I was singing. I think we played 2 or 3 shows. One at the theater and like maybe a couple home, like parties, something like that. It's like real garage rock kind of stuff. It's really fun, I remember. That's about it.
Did you play drums in that band too? See, today I pictured you playing drums in it.
We jammed together, but I didn't play drums in that band. It was Craig. Yeah. We might have been practicing a couple songs like that, but Craig played drums in the Ica Panthers. I don't even know why he called that Ica. I-K-A Panthers.
Oh, it's A-K-A?
I-K-A.
Oh, it's spelled I-K-A.
Yeah.
Ica.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. What is it? What is Ica? What is it?
It sounds cool.
Yeah. Kind of does.
That's really the most.
It's like a college football team. The Ica Panthers.
So after the band broke up, you just played in a bunch of bands, or what did you do?
Not much. Played in the Panthers with Ryan. Played in the Newlyweds with Jeff Smith again, Angie Hart, and Joseph. I feel like he had a German last name. I don't remember his last name. Joseph, anyway. And that was kind of the same kind of stuff, really raw. You know, like the Gories, that kind of raw guitar. And that was about it. Oh, and Kelly, and Justin. Tight Bros Justin. What's his last name?
Oh, Olsen.
Justin Olsen.
Are
Kelly
you talking
Hogan.
about Frosthammer?
Yeah.
Did you guys record anything?
No.
No?
No.
Not even any practice tapes?
Probably, yeah.
I wonder if Justin has those.
Kelly might. Kelly probably
Kelly has
does.
everything.
Yeah, Kelly keeps a lot of stuff.
Oh, I should ask him about that. So what happened to those bands?
No, nothing. I don't know. Petered out. Never did anything, you know, no ambition, no aim, direction, kind of thing where I think I was really kind of done with music, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Did things for kind of projects and such.
Okay. Do you want to do any more vase antics?
Nah. I think you got the gist.
Okay. I'm gonna photograph your hand because I like to do stuff like that. Is that a gang sign? Is that a really generic gang sign?
You want to see a not so generic one? Wait a minute. How do you do it? Oh, yeah.
Oh, blood. I know that one. Oh, you know what? You know what you should say? Here, wait. Do that again. No, with the wig. You know what? You know the documentary you should see is Stacy Peralta. You know he makes documentaries. Oh, I told you about last time. Sorry.
Like Powell and Peralta?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's awesome.
I used to have the bug board, the Powell and Peralta bug board, one of the old 80s skateboards.
Oh, really?
Michelle stole it for me, actually. Michelle me.
That was nice.
From a Centralia skate shop, just walked out with it. Crazy
She's
bitch.
a girl. She just do stuff.
I mean, she's also a klepto.
Klepto.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, when she was in the makeup, they got totally in trouble for some. Don't put it in your thing, but you know what I mean. They got they ended up this record store called like Ian at Discord or whatever, who was putting out the makeup records. And,
Right.
you know, this girl, she was putting things in her bag and shit like vinyl. She just loved to steal things.
Or
Was it Laredo? Is that where it was?
oh well, I'm saying that because that's what Ryan said. You gotta quit doing that though.
That won't work.
No, because when if I have to rearrange your sentences for the story,
Oh, and it won't.
no,
You can't
it'll
edit
be
it together. So I just go. What if it's all one note?
It won't be in time. It'll go,
This one time in Laredo, we were fucking driving the van. Alright, okay. What do you want to know, buddy?
Well, I want you, as dramatically as possible. I'm just kidding.
This one time.
No, just tell me about the circumstances of how the last tour ended.
Well, it was after my hospital visit. We were going on a tour, and I think we're doing quite well as far as how we'd done previously to that, which was struggling quite a bit, just to get to place, which was fine anyway, because all we wanted to do was get gas money and, expenses paid to the next place and get on with it. There was a point when we'd gotten a load of Valium from Mexico somehow. I got a handful of it and was really helping me out quite a bit. But it's a point when there was some discussion about that and about just, I think probably concern about me using pills, drinking, something like that. And anyway, it wasn't going to go on the same way that it had been. And I don't think I was ready for that. I was in a not good mind space. I was really freaked out to be away from home. I wasn't ready to be out on the road, even though I was. And had a little breakdown. Just said, all of a sudden, I guess, I wanted to turn around and come back. And it was a pretty big bummer, for the other guys in the band, I'm sure. And it made me feel terrible, but at the same time, I was so I felt so broken. I felt like I don't know, pretty sissified, and couldn't even imagine going to another date and staying out on the road that long and doing the same shit over and over. And I didn't care about it at that point. Just wanted to be back in the comfort zone, whatever that was. Maybe the comfort zone was something totally poisonous too. Who knows? An addicted brain will tell you anything to get back to somewhere where it's in its zone, where it can do its thing and play out its own shit. And so we turned it around. Everyone agreed to it too. It's like, okay, let's go back. We just drove right back to Washington from Texas. Crazy. I wish I had it to do over again, I wish I could wish I could talk to that kid and say, hey, do your thing, get out there and have some fun, and live life. Don't get wrapped up in fear and whatever's keeping you from getting out there and doing it,
When you say that it wasn't going to go on the way it had been going on, what are you talking about?
Well, probably me, just trying to curb my anxiety, trying to, or being, reckless, using whatever chemicals in front of me I could, probably drinking a lot, probably making it uncomfortable for the other guys. I don't know. I don't want to put it all on me. It's not like this spotlight thing, this selfish thing. It's just could sense that it wasn't going to work for me. I don't know. It was a long time ago. I don't really remember it that well. It just, I don't, I remember not thinking that I could go all the way around the country again. I just wanted to go back.
Because, why?
I don't know.
Was it anxiety stuff going on?
Yeah, some.
Can you tell me about that?
I can't describe it. I can't describe how anxiety. It's nameless and faceless. You can't I couldn't put something to it to describe how it felt. It wasn't something real. That's why it feels insane, because it's not something that's right there and knocking on your door. It's something that's not there. It's an impending sense of doom that doesn't go away, and maybe it's just addiction knocking on your door, saying you have to do this to feel okay. I don't know what it was.
So you were feeling a lot of anxiety, is that what you're saying, on this tour? Can you say that? Can you say whether or not you were? I don't think you said, I was having a lot of problems with anxiety, or during this tour this was going on.
In that time I was having all kinds of problems with anxiety, and that's my everyday life. When I woke up, I had a sort of an impending doom feeling, and a sense of not being safe. I don't know what that means or why it was that way. It's nothing I could reach out and touch, nothing I could even identify. It's not like I could say, I feel like a fucking truck's gonna run me over, or a meteor is gonna land on me, flash flood. Just for some reason needing to be enclosed in a space, not be in a moving vehicle, not be out in the open and out, there's, oh God, it's really hard to explain. And I don't feel that way anymore. That's why I think it's harder to explain too, because I'm not in touch with it anymore. It was that time in my life,
Can you tell me about the, you had a big fear of nuclear war and war, right? Can you tell me about that?
A little bit. Well, I grew up in a time when I was a very small child. That was an everyday sort of reality or sort of thing that I paid attention to the news. I paid attention to politics or just the way the air felt in the world. And I for some reason, I always took everything to heart. And it always felt like that was a real possibility, like that it could all just disintegrate. And I felt like I was always expecting it, and so I wanted it to just I don't know, maybe I wanted to beat it to the punch. I don't know.
We're talking about nuclear war here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you say what you're talking about? Because I don't think you ever said nuclear war in the sentence.
Yeah. I grew up in the era of.
Start again, or no?
In the. When I was a kid in the 80s, I heard a lot about nuclear war, about the end of the world, countries colliding, technology becoming too vast, too much, and someone doing something where we would have no choice. I think it was about having no choice and about having everything come to an end with no choice. I don't know why I took it so much to heart when I was that age, but it stuck with me throughout my teens and early 20s. It just is a part of who I was. I felt like I was living right in that moment, and sometimes I felt like I just wanted to be numb, during those times. And sometimes it gave me real breakdowns. That had a lot to do with it. Sometimes I just had some impending sense of doom. I think some of that had to do with some form of abuse I had when I was a kid. Feeling trapped, feeling like I couldn't get out of certain situations. That's about it.
Were you having a fear that it's literally going to happen, or is it something amorphous than that?
Probably really going to happen. Yeah. That's why it feels a little crazy. Well, in retrospect, it feels really crazy. Because it doesn't seem really very realistic. But then it felt totally as normal as anything else. And the shit happened with the towers and or the bombing in '93 at the Trade Center. I wasn't at all surprised. I'm surprised nothing more has happened than that. So yeah, it was always seemed like a reality. Much different than that now. I don't think about it like that anymore.
Was it something that you talked to people about, or was it something that you hid?
Yeah, I kept it to myself, pretty much. It's embarrassing, I don't want to seem like I'm constantly thinking about this shit. I wasn't constantly thinking about it, but it was in the back of my head. The reality I had created or that was created around me might all just go fizz like that, And so, fuck it anyway, right? Sort of. Kind of felt like that.
Did you feel like at this point on this tour that it was getting worse or becoming more? Can you describe to me was it
on the Texas
changing?
thing?
Yeah, or was it just
that was probably more that was a buildup of that, but in addition to that, it was probably that I had created an environment for myself where drugs like stimulants or depressants had taken that edge off in some sense, and when I didn't have access to them in that same sense, those subconscious thoughts, they came right to the surface. So it wasn't necessarily about what reality was actually happening. It was probably more about what I had control of. And I was totally not in control of that situation, riding around in a van and being in a different state and just not as interested in doing our music and our art as I was like having that absolute relief or something, really unfortunate too. I wish I hadn't been in that state of mind. I would have loved to enjoy that time of my life and really had fun, but I couldn't, I guess.
Well, the cool thing I like about this, what we're talking about in terms of why I think it's an important element of this story is that it's a classic thing. And I think Jessica, not about you, but I think Jessica Espolita once said to me when we were saying about that tour is the magnifying glass of personality. Like, and I've gone nuts on tours. I know, you know what I mean? Like, right. You can't hide in a van.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Yeah, if someone sees you wake up and sees you go to sleep, there's nothing you can do about that. It's true.
So, I mean, can you tell me about, like, what that's like? I mean, like, what that experience is and how it affected what you're talking about? The, like, sitting in the van, going to the shows, going to people's parties, don't play the guitar. But, do you know what I mean?
On tour?
Yeah. Like, you're saying that, like, this kind of lack of control feeds this, but, maybe if you could explain the elements of that, of what about being on tour is puts you on a petri dish or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think that's what it is. It's not. It wasn't a petri dish. In my own home environment, I could control my shit a little more. I'm in my own room, in my own living room. Turn on CNN, nothing's blowing up. And they're on the road. I almost tried to go outside of my brain, trying to think other thoughts, trying to do other things. That's about it. Didn't really have much to say about it, man.
So how was it how was it received, like, in the parking lot? Like, Ryan said you guys went to a parking lot to, like, have a big talk out or something?
Yeah, a big bro out. No, basically just like, well, I think I said, I have some serious fucking anxiety shit going on, and someone said, maybe it was Ryan, said, well, the way to solve that isn't through a handful of Mexican Valium. It's like, I know, but it is helping, and then I just kind of realized that, ouch, I don't think I can be helped, in this situation. I'm either going to be trying to medicate or not, and maybe be too freaked out to deal or something. That sucked. I don't want to fucking burden these guys, and I just had by telling them that, I said, I just want to, can we just go? I'm done. I don't even want to do this anymore. I'm done, And I think we played a little bit after that, and then we just stopped.
And what was their reaction there in the parking lot?
Actually, I think that Jared was pretty quiet, and Brian was pretty okay, but Scott was like really probably the most supportive, or I don't know why. I remember him like being like, that's okay, that's okay. We'll just turn it around. And I don't know how he really felt or whatever, but externally it seemed like he wanted me to know that, like, you're not a piece of shit, for, not being able to do it or whatever. And, I think he was driving. He just turned it around, aimed it north, back to the northwest.
Why do you think he reacted like that?
Scott? He's a really sensitive and understanding person. He's really non-judgmental. Maybe he was empathetic. I don't know, but he'd seen what I'd been through before or done before. You know, who knows? I think he was just a really nice guy. Really, he's a really nice guy.
And what do you think was behind the? If you got a rock, dude.
When you got a rock, you got a rock.
What do you think was behind Jared's silence?
I don't know if he was silent. I just don't remember him really saying much. He might have just said okay, you know. He probably was. I imagine, why wouldn't he be bummed out that we weren't gonna go and finish the whole fucking national tour? We just made it barely to Texas, you know. I have no idea, dude. It was 15, 16 years ago. I do not know.
The funny thing, the thing that I think is interesting, this definitely wouldn't happen in my band, is that no one got mad.
No one shamed me.
That's
or anything.
crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
who were friends? Who were friends though?
Yeah,
you know?
and friends. Yeah, you guys fought all the time.
Right. But we didn't shame each other. It wasn't like, oh, you have some emotionally unstable mental issues. You motherfucker, you're fucking up my tour. It wouldn't be anything like that. I mean, they would never do that, and I would never do that to them. I mean, we really deep down we loved each other. And I mean, I really think that they forgave me, and at the same time, it hurt and it sucked. I know it really probably sucked to be like, oh, thanks for getting all the way to Texas. I mean, look, if we weren't friends, they'd be like, fuck you, you know. But they must have understood at some level because they allowed just to go. We drove back. We got back and yeah, things aren't cool. And, you know, it wasn't any question oh, did you guys break up? Well, no. Oh, well, what happened? Did you guys have band problems? Oh, no. I mean, everyone knew, I'm sure. I'm having some sort of brain malfunction or something. That's cool, you know. And they were cool, too. Pretty much.
So
gonna wrap it up real soon, though, Bill.
Okay.
Really, I gotta go.
Okay.
Just because I gotta go.
Yeah, no.
Not because I'm, you know.
I understand. So now I put now the pressure's on me. I'm thinking of what's gonna be my great last question. Oh, I remember. What about? Do you remember the ride home? No. Okay. You don't remember it at all?
No, I slept a lot.
Really?
That's why I don't remember.
You drove.
I probably drove a lot. I was fucked up on
let
volume.
me remind you something in case you remember. He said you guys were watching the sun come up and listening to an alien abduction program on the radio. Do you remember any of that?
No.
Okay, that's cool.
Then what happened?
That's all he told me.
Oh.
He said you guys were just talking about life and about the world, and he was just listening to what was going on with you. And
Ryan and I talked a lot like that, though. Me and Ryan were really, really good friends. Way better friends than I was with Scott and Jared. You know what I mean? That's why he came with us. Ryan's my bro. Scott and Jared and I are high school friends that stayed friends because we're in a band. But Ryan's my buddy, you know, from old times, like Mikey Nelson is, you know, or Mikey D's. I mean,
yeah, what's the Nelson D's thing?
He used to just change his name because it was stepdad kind of thing.
Oh. All right. Well, we can knock it off for now.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I belch into the camera one more time?
Belch as much as you want.
I can't actually.
Oh, really?
I belched myself out.
All talk, huh?
Just don't put that in there.
I won't.
You can. You know, it's your movie, Bill.
I will.
It's your movie, Bill.